In 2006 a dynamic dance duo formed to take on the world. This Anglo-Australian partnership promptly traveled the globe, learning from the masters of dance. If no one else has the answers, and if you can find them, maybe you should get in touch with Dizzyfeet.
If you've got the questions,
we've got the answers. And good evening, everybody. Here we are once again. Well, here I am once again.
Here I am.
Ah, here she is.
Do you want to shut this?
Yes, yes. And so Kelly and the dog have tuned in. Have joined us.
It's a bit frantic today.
Yeah, I don't know why. We've not had anything to do, really, have we?
I've decided to do everything in 2 hours.
Yeah. Just before we do the
cleaning stuff and yeah.
Yeah. So it's good evening from me.
It's good evening from him.
Yeah. And so we've got another evening of question and answers for you with another little 30-minute video as well. Tonight it's all about dance exercises. So things that you can do to make you a better dancer. Is that right, Kel?
Yes.
Wonderful. That dog's digging again.
Yeah, this time of night seems to be...
I know. He just
It's
really
not
loves
good.
to be on the show, doesn't he? It's really dark in Facebook again.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bizarre, isn't it? I don't understand it. Whereas in YouTube, it's not.
It does look dark on YouTube as well. But Facebook does look dark.
It does, doesn't it?
Mm.
Very odd. Very odd. Let me have a little look. We're in the dark. Well, yeah. Let me make it a little bit... Bless you, darling. Bless
Me?
you. Let's make that a touch brighter then, shall we?
You made that all nice, didn't you?
I did. I made it all nice. Yeah, tied it all up nicely. And now that dog has come along and destroyed it once again.
Thing is, if we put him downstairs with Ella, he gets a bit boisterous with Ella and starts biting her and
He
stuff,
does.
so we can't leave them on their own. This is a bit difficult at the moment.
Has that worked? Is that any bright? I've made it brighter. It doesn't make any difference, it seems,
That
on Facebook.
doesn't seem to change.
It doesn't, does it?
No.
I don't understand. Anyway, what a waste of time. We're just talking about the darkness. Good evening, Ray. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So Ray's the only person that seems to comment on YouTube. Everyone else comments on Facebook.
That's okay.
That's all right. Yeah, don't mind. We don't mind. We've got quite a few tuned in tonight, Kelly.
Good.
Quite a few tuned in. Obviously, it is a little bit bright. It doesn't need to be particularly bright. I mean, the idea is an element of mystery. We like to be just poking our heads out of the dark. Out of the darkness.
It reminds me of the Queen.
The Queen?
No, not the Queen. Queen. The
Oh,
album,
the
the album
Queen.
cover. You know,
Yeah,
where they're
yeah,
all
yeah,
like
yeah.
in the dark.
I think I
And
just
it's just
need
their
to
faces. You can see.
Need to move the camera ever so slightly that way.
Your
So it's slightly
face
more
looks really
centralised.
big.
Oh, well, I've got a big face.
You do have a big
You've
face.
got a little face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're here for questions, Kel. We're here for questions, and we're not here for waffle.
Any questions?
Have I had my hair dyed?
Died?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. So good evening those people that are tuning in via WhatsApp and messaging us on there. Little waves. Yeah, fire away with your questions, everybody. Dancing related, ideally. Presumably.
You know
preferably.
they don't want to ask dance-related
I know.
questions. They want to ask personal questions.
I know. Babs is in.
Babs.
Yeah.
What?
I was just checking because he sounded like he was doing something. So.
No.
You watch on YouTube and oh, fair enough, John. Okay, Jonathan watches on YouTube and comments on Facebook. That is
Fair
talent.
enough.
Well, obviously what they do is they watch it on the telly. That's useful. So you watch it on the telly,
Oh, then
you can
comment
tune
on
in, and you just
Facebook.
comment on your phone. It's great. See, that's how we set it up that way, really, you see. Did I let Kelly loose on it? I did. Luggage cha-cha routine, is this something we can do when we are dancing in a couple? It'll have to be adapted slightly, yes. But most of the figures you could do definitely together. You could absolutely do it in what we call shadow position, where you're both stood by side doing the same steps. So with a hold like this, you see, you could hold like that, and then you would be able to do it. It would all work. But some of it could be tinkered to work in a partnership as well. Yeah. Obviously, what I've been doing on a Wednesday is primarily for people dancing on their own, because the majority of people that are tuning in are solo. So, yeah, I just wanted to make it something that you could all do without having to rely on a partner.
I think it's just a little bit easier for space as well, you know, if you're doing it in a small space.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Roz says she misses us.
Aww.
Yeah. You need to get out a bit more, Roz.
I
Bless
think
you.
everyone misses everyone.
Well,
don't
we
they?
do. We miss everyone.
Yeah.
So I had a little bit of an update today from the gym. The gym seemed to be happy with us restarting on the 12th of April. They've, oh for goodness sake.
It's undone on the bottom.
It's a zip, darling.
I know, but
It undoes from the bottom and the top.
I can see that now.
Yeah.
I just...
Easy access. Yeah, so they have pretty much said that we can operate. What we're now doing is negotiating how much it's going to cost us. Because normally, obviously, what we pay to Ferrum, it covers all the classes and everything as well, but obviously there's no classes. So we can't.
It's going to make it difficult to cover the costs.
It's going to make it very difficult to cover the cost because we pay a flat rate to Ferrum, you see. And the classes pay for the rent. And if we haven't got the classes, then it makes it pretty tricky. So we need to have a chat with them about that. So we're waiting to see. But fingers crossed, it'll work out fine. Fingers crossed. And those of you that like lessons in Millbrook, they have said they're opening on the 12th of April as well. But again, we've got to clarify exactly what that'll entail because it's not a gym, it's a community hall. But one side of it is a boxing gym which can open. So
it's almost the same.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. So it does say in the government legislation and everything, all the stuff, that when gyms open, dance studios can open as well. So wherever we hire, whatever venue we hire, that becomes a dance studio. So we could hire at an office if it was allowed to be used as a dance studio. It becomes a dance studio. So wherever we are becomes a dance studio. So technically we should be able to go in and do single lessons. Oh goodness gracious me! I didn't think he was coming up. You see, so I left it on the floor.
Well, I can't read them on his. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, more questions, please. Otherwise, I'll just put the video on and slow it down so it lasts 45 minutes. I wouldn't do that. Would I, Kel?
No.
No.
I was going to say yes, but no.
No one's asking us anything. No one's even typing anything. We could just sit in silence until they ask us something, couldn't we?
I'm rather tired, so I could have a little nap.
Go on then, have a little sleep.
I've actually already had a nap today.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you? When did you do that?
Before picking up Ella?
Did you? I didn't even notice.
You don't notice. You spend all day in here.
Well, I know. Doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're waiting for a question, Cal. I mean, I like to waffle. I don't like dead air, of course. I'd be very good on the radio. Yeah.
How much catching up do you think we'll need to do?
Well, I think that depends, Sarah, how much catch up you need to do. I think it all depends on how much you've done in your own time.
Everyone's going to be different, aren't they?
I'm going to need catching up.
Yeah.
It's going to take me a while to get back into the rhythm of things. Haha, literally the rhythm. Because my feet really hurt when I do that Wednesday night stuff. Really hurt.
I'm going to feel it, for sure.
Yeah. And,
I remember when we went back last July, my feet were killing me. And my back as well, actually.
Yeah.
I really noticed it as well. So, now from having even longer off, I think it's going to be worse.
Yeah, when I recorded the dance exercise video that you're seeing tonight, so last Saturday, I was sore. I didn't do a great deal, but I did notice it physically. So yeah, I think we're all going to take a little while to get back into the swing of things. Has Buddy ruined any upholstery this week?
No, he's ruined a log basket.
Yeah, we next to our
Yeah.
log burner downstairs, we've got a little wicker basket, which is beautiful, lovely little wicker basket. Nothing special, but a really nice, cute wicker basket. Destroyed it.
He's literally eaten it. He's lost, as far as I know, he's lost 2 teeth now. So he's
Probably
wants to bite.
Probably chewing on that wicker basket. I said that we should get ourselves a nice copper one until I looked at how much they cost. So
yeah, we think we were getting like a metal basket of some sort, but maybe
we don't
not
want stainless steel, but yeah,
No.
a copper one would be nice. They range from £180
like
to
an
£2,500.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Maybe brass
maybe.
or something else.
Yeah.
We don't want to get it on the basket because it's likely he'll chew it again.
How is Ella
Being
at school? She's been good.
I think she's
Loving it,
much
loving it,
better.
loving it.
much better for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's
much-
really
much
good for
happier.
her. It's only first week, of course. The novelty always wears off a little bit, but yeah. I think just in general, it's breaks up the routine and gets her out and mingling with other children, which
Yeah,
is
they've been quite
really
active
nice.
this week.
Yeah. You can notice a difference, can't you, in her demeanour, just her general demeanour. She's just much happier. She's happy when she goes in. She's happy when she comes home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's and she's better behaved because I suppose because she's happier. So yeah, I think it's really important that they're at school.
Yeah.
Mm.
Margaret's asked a question. She's wondering why the recap of Wednesday on YouTube is much clearer sound-wise than the actual class on Facebook. You mean Zoom, I guess, not Facebook, because it's streamed on Zoom. That'll be something to do with Zoom's the way they process the sounds, I guess, because I'm all radio mic'd up, so the sound should be better than it is on the recap. The recap class is recorded on a separate camera and the microphone off of that camera. So it's picking up the direct sound from me. That's probably why it sounds better. It's something to do with Zoom, I guess, the way it processes it all. Or it could be something to do with the internet connection, how you receive the data. I don't know. And that's a techie thing, really. But it should sound better on Zoom because I'm wearing a radio mic. Good evening, Mother.
Hello.
Good evening, Mother. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by for all these dance tips. What is your opinion on back supports to help posture? Phil's question. He struggles with posture as he has mild scoliosis.
Right.
I don't think it's a bad idea, providing they do the right job.
Mm.
A lot of problems with people's backs are caused by weak abdominal muscles
Core.
and weak core muscles. And the core isn't just at the front of it's not just your t-shirt muscles. When Phil rips his t-shirt off and he's got his lovely six-pack, it's not just those muscles you see on the top of the belly, let's say, on the front of the belly. It's the deep abdominal muscles that go right through to the base of the spine, and they actually then feed into the back. So a lot of times it's those muscles and the stabilizing muscles that cause back instability or posture instability.
Scoliosis might be, yeah.
Scoliosis is a different situation
Yeah,
altogether,
yeah.
of course. But
It's
yeah,
worth looking into because I think anything that helps you stand up a little better is useful, especially if when you're dancing, if you don't feel like you can stand up and maintain it yourself, sometimes having something like that will help.
yeah, absolutely right. And if you're forced into a position, then your muscles have to work to keep you in that position. So it's going to be could be quite tiring, but absolutely would be beneficial. Because when I'm sat like this, I'm slumped, so my muscles aren't working the right way. And if I sat properly, so I dramatically change in height, don't I?
I think
Dramatically, but I'm just sat in the same seat, my bum's in the same place, I'm just not, so my muscles have to work differently. So if I was to be strapped into this position, then my muscles would have to work stronger all the time.
I was just going to say, I think it's important to remember posture is a learned behaviour, isn't it?
Yes.
And your muscles then have to learn that position. So they have to, initially you have to be quite conscious of putting yourself into position, and if there's a support of some description that helps with that, then I think, it's always worth a try. We always had the idea of just try everything and see what works. You won't know until you actually try it whether it's going to work for you or not. And when you try something, you've got to give it time. I think when you do something new with dancing, people give up a little bit too quickly on something, and you have to really give a lot of time to something, at least a month, I would say, wouldn't you?
Oh, more than that,
On just one aspect. Let's say it's your posture, you've got to, really concentrate on it for that length of time, at least, before you even perhaps start to notice a difference. Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
So go for it. I suppose in a way it'll save you having to stick that rod up his backside, so you can take that out. So Julian normally asks us lots of questions, but he's asleep in the bath, so we can't tonight.
Everyone knows.
Well, that's
Everyone
really
knows.
disappointing that he's not actually woken up in time to watch this. So he'll be in trouble when you see him.
I don't know how anyone can actually sleep in a bath.
Yeah, no, I can't do that.
Because I think I would just slip. And
because
drown.
you're too little. When you've got a small bath,
Yeah.
then you can't, can you really? Your legs are all cooped up, you're
I
kind of
suppose.
stuck in it, you wouldn't slip down.
We could get one of those little tub ones, couldn't we?
No.
They're quite nice.
I don't want a little tub bath.
No, I know.
I want a bath. I don't have baths very often. We were meant to be having our bathroom done last year.
It's not going to happen.
That didn't happen,
No.
obviously. So we had all these lovely plans to have a little Victorian bath put in, but no.
No.
So no.
No.
So we've just got a.
Don't know when that's going to happen.
So we've just got it's just like an old paddling pool in there now with buckets that we just pour over
We
ourselves
don't.
and scrub.
We have a bathroom with a bath in it. It's just quite old now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's dated. It's very dated and mouldy and nasty.
It just needs redoing.
Yeah, it's unpleasant. Anyway, moving on. Question. Ros, that's a silly question. Obviously, it's a really silly question. Will you be really strict with us when we come back for lessons to help us to catch up? Of course I will.
Yes.
Why would you think any other way?
We've had basically a year of not doing that, haven't we? So we need to be strict.
Yeah.
Baptism of fire.
Absolute baptism of fire, yeah.
That's the best way, isn't it, to break the cobwebs? Just get into it.
Margaret did the recap class twice today. Is she trying to get brownie points?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one likes a show off, Margaret, do they? No one likes a show off. Yeah. Everyone's been really. They're asking a few
Brownies
things.
do work better though, don't they?
Yes, yes, yes. You can send us some of those vegan brownies of yours that you've made for us before at a social dance. God, might be able to do a social dance in July.
Do you think so?
Is it June or July? I think it's June actually. June.
Well, that doesn't seem possible, does it?
I spoke to the hotel. Well, not actually spoke. I emailed the hotel in communication with the Hilton about maybe doing a competition in the summer. So we'll see, a day event. So they want to know if we want to confirm something. So keep your summer free. Don't go anywhere. So we might be doing a day's competition at the Hilton. Not the Britannia, but something different. So I don't know what we'll call it. I might call it the Wessex. I wanted to bring that back anyway.
There's a question here about Elaine's class, the sequence one.
Well, the classes won't resume until May. So when classes are
We're
allowed
not
to
allowed
resume,
do group gatherings.
everything will start. All of the classes will start as we did before. So so as soon as that's allowed, we will. Yeah, all the classes will resume as they were before, no different. So that the schedule will still be the same.
I was listening to some music. Would you consider doing another Strictly comp? So like a Strictly style competition.
When did we do one of those? Have we ever done one of those? Do you mean the one at the gym? We did one at the. We did Strictly Fitness first twice. Is that what you mean, Diane?
I think that's what she means. Yes. Yeah, we would consider it.
A lounge comp is kind of what you're talking about as well, where we would. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure.
I think she means like couples battling it out.
Don't know. Fitness will have suffered though, surely, says Sigrid. Well, quite possibly, but you've got a couple of weeks yet before classes start. Well, actually, you've got a month because it's the 12th of March today. If we can restart from the 12th of April, you've got a month, Sigrid, to get yourself in shape. All you need is a Rocky montage. That's all you need to get yourself in shape and fit. Yeah. Okay, so start running up some steps and then jumping around at the top. And if you've not seen Rocky, why not?
Everyone should watch.
Everyone should watch Rocky.
Yeah. Everyone should watch Rocky. Well, which one did we watch the other night? Rocky 4.
Rocky 4. It's a short one, only 1 hour 32 minutes, I think. But it's brilliant. It's got the best training montage.
Yes.
It's the best training montage, for sure.
Montage.
It's not the best of the films, really. I think. I don't know. Rocky 1's really great. It did win an Oscar, didn't it? Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're all good. There's one that's not so good. Which
Rocky
is
5.
Rocky 5.
Yeah, Rocky 5's not great.
I always enjoy them though, because they're just really inspiring.
Yeah, people think they're silly films, but they're not actually. They're really inspiring. I mean, they're a little bit cheesy in places, but.
Oh yeah, it's cheesy, but it's nice cheesy.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, for goodness sake. Some of us have been a bit naughty with food. What's a good diet to follow, meat and plant-based?
Well, diet is one of the hard things, isn't it? In general.
Sorry, hang on a second.
What?
Some of us have been a bit naughty with food. She's implying that she's been a bit naughty with food. And by naughty, she means she's been stuffing her face probably with crisps and chocolates and probably Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
It depends. Diet is a really difficult thing. It depends on how quickly you want to lose weight, and you have to know a little bit about how your body reacts to things. So for me personally, I know if I cut carbs down a lot, then I start to lose weight quite quickly. But the downside to that is you feel really tired. So, if it's a bit of a sacrifice, you have to go through it.
I think problem, of course, is that everyone is different.
Yes, that's
everyone has a different chemical makeup in their body, so no
some
one
people can
diet
eat more carbs
works
than others. So you have to,
for everyone. It's nonsense. So you have to find what works best for you. Yeah.
Which is the hard part. But I mean, I think in general, if you're eating a diet primarily of fruit and veg and protein and a little bit of carbs, I think carbs, you need them, of course. You can't take them out of your diet completely, but it's how much. If your diet is predominantly carbs and then a little bit of protein and veg, well then you perhaps need to readdress that. Fruit and vegetables, we all need a lot of them, and we all need a lot more than actually we probably eat normally. So if you amp up your fruit and veg, I don't think you can really eat too much fruit and veg.
No.
Really, you can eat too much protein, you can eat too many carbs.
Yeah.
So keep those ones a little bit less, up the fruit and veg.
I think that one of the best things you can live by is to eat as few ingredients as possible.
Yeah.
So if you eat something
yourself.
that has lots of ingredients, you want to try and avoid that, really, because Whole Foods have no ingredients.
Yeah.
Because they are just food. Food really shouldn't have ingredients.
That's why we like plant-based, because it kind of forces you to, open a tin of chickpeas, do some veg in a pan or in the oven, or do some salad, and it just forces you to eat things kind of much fresher and
obviously
scratch, rather than anything from a packet. You can get vegan food in a packet, of course.
It's still not great for you, though.
But we wouldn't advocate that for losing weight, would we?
No. Well, no. I tell you what, the motivation shouldn't be to lose weight anyway. The motivation should be to be healthy.
Yes, yeah. But some people to be healthy need to lose weight.
Well, of course. Yeah. But if your objective is to be healthy, you will lose weight.
Yes.
So if you think of losing weight, there's a negative word in there because there's a word weight.
So I understand that.
And that always is then reinforcing the weight thing. So you're always hung up on weight. Be focused on health.
One little thing I can say, and this is something that I think about a lot, actually, is that if you're thinking of being more plant-based, say you want to cut down on meat and stuff like that, don't overlook tofu. And I know everyone's like, oh, tofu, I don't want to eat that.
It's delicious, actually.
But actually,
you marinate it probably.
It is one of the best ingredients because you can do so much with it. Because basically, on its own, it is bland.
So is chicken.
But so is chicken. And you can flavour it, and it will take on all these lovely flavours. So it's really useful ingredient, and it's low fat, high in protein. So you can't really lose out if you include that in your diet. You're gonna It takes a bit of perhaps research to find out what you can do with it. Don't just chop it up and put it cold on a salad because that's a bit dull. But like we say, you can do all sorts with it, and it's really, really. I love it because I never ever feel guilty eating tofu in something. Tofu and veg, easy.
We're having broccoli and mash tonight, aren't we? Yeah. We're very lucky that we've got. I'm coming to you in a second, Ray. I got your question. It's coming to you in a second. We're very lucky that we've got a supermarket in Southampton that's 100% plant-based. Everything in there is plant-based.
And everything's whole, and you can buy
all the veg and everything is organic, and they've got tubs and things, dispensers for your foods and everything. So nothing's packaged up. Everything's loose, and it's all local produce. So sometimes you go in, they haven't got anything because the local producers haven't produced them. So we're very lucky in that respect. And obviously with the bit of time that we've had, it means that we've been able to prepare stuff. So I've been doing almost all the cooking, haven't I?
You have. You
and preparing stuff from scratch almost every night, which is great. It does take a bit of time, but then once you get familiar with it, it's easy actually. The thing I made last night was delicious, wasn't it?
Yeah, really nice.
Really delicious.
That was a butter bean pasta. I love
butter bean pasta. Yeah. So the only thing, obviously, the pasta's it's a carb. It's a complex carb.
We don't eat a lot of that though, do we? Now
but everything else was really healthy.
Yeah.
And anyway, so yeah.
Perhaps we should get some of our books out so they can see some of those.
Well, the idea was to do Saturday night dinners, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Every week, and I've done one.
Yeah.
Because actually, I did it, and it took me
forever. A long time to.
But that's because I wasn't so familiar with all the processing, how to do all the computer, video processing. Again, Margaret's showing off.
Yeah.
We don't need to know that you made a butternut squash and red pepper curry
yesterday. Cheese and cream. Yeah. The thing is about dairy, whether you're vegan or not, dairy tends to carry a lot of fat. It's high in fat. So, and cheese is very high in salt, which isn't good. So, you know, cutting down on those things is a good idea. I'm not saying all fat. I mean, the thing about plant-based fats, a lot of people worry about avocado.
Delicious. Super duper food.
It's a good fat, and it's really good for you, and it's good for the heart and everything like that. So, you know, that's not something you should be afraid of just because it's high fat content. Of course, if you eat 6 of them a day, that might be a problem.
The good thing with a lot of these fruit and vegetables, though, is they're very high in fibre, so they fill you up. You're very satisfied. So you eat it and then you think you don't need any more because your body doesn't crave it. Sugar's addictive, you see, and sugar makes you want more sugar. Yeah. So the more sugar you have, the more sugar you want.
Yeah, sugar is an addictive substance. That's always something to remember. So yeah, if you want to get over that, the best thing to do is cut it out. Refined sugar, you know, if you're eating natural sugars, you know, dates are something that are really good because. And again, I wouldn't recommend eating loads of them because they do have a lot of sugar in them, but it's a natural sugar, so that's going to be better for you as a nice snack as opposed to chocolate. I
do make a very good chocolate bar from dates.
Something that's a really easy thing to do though is get some dates, cut the pips out, and stick some almond butter on.
Oh, that's delicious.
You'll only want 2 or 3,
yes,
and
enough.
You'll be done.
You're done, yeah. It's
You'll
really
be done.
Good.
So that's a nice. It's really sweet. The almond butter's got a little bit of fat in as well, so that's really satisfying.
Yeah.
And that's a nice little thing.
I've got to answer Ray's question because Ray's been waiting patiently.
Sorry, go on then.
So Ray says he's been watching our Wednesday lesson on cha-cha. Could you tell us what level this was, i.e. beginner, etc.? So essentially that was probably aimed at more, majority of the figures were aimed at an improver level. However, it has a lot of steps in there that we would use in a beginner's plus as well. So it would not be aimed at an absolute beginner at all because it's a little bit more complex than that. So probably towards an improver sort of level. Yeah, really, I suppose. There's elements in it that are quite simplistic and quite basic, but If I was to do a solo class just for absolute beginners, it would be tricky to do. We'd have to do multiple dances because you'd get through everything so quickly, really, in that solo class. But yeah, that's what it's aimed at, really. All of them, really. I try and make it a bit more interesting, you see. And to make it interesting, you've got to break away from the absolute basic figures, you see, which then becomes a bit tricky. So if you join the Wednesday group or Wednesday class, I'm presuming you know all the basics in those dances, essentially. So it's not really aimed at absolute beginners. So there we go. There's an answer to that one for you, Ray. But hey, still have a go. And the good thing is, because it's on YouTube now as a recap video, you can just keep practicing it and practicing it over and over again, can't they? Till they've perfected it, and then I'll check your work and workings out when I see you in the flesh. Yeah. Well, apparently Julian's back in the room out of the bath. I bet he's all shriveled up.
Is he? Wait, oh, stop it.
Yeah.
Is he awake now?
Well, if you go in the bath for too long, you shrivel up, don't you?
I know.
I wasn't trying to be rude. You would think I was being rude.
You're always rude.
I'm not. It's almost time, I think, for the video. I think it is time for the video.
It's been a good chat.
It has been a good chat. It's been a good chat. We go off on tangents, don't we, really?
We do a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but we get a bit detailed. You see, one question, we're detailed, we chat about it for 15 minutes. We should have a regular podcast.
Yeah, we should. I really want to do a podcast.
Yeah, we should just do
I like
podcast.
the idea of doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to do it yet.
We'll work it out. Well, you can look investigate that one, can't you, then?
Okay.
It just needs that.
We've got the microphone.
We've got the microphone.
We could do a good podcast.
We could do a good podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So send us your topics for podcasts, ideas. What do you want us to talk about? It could be anything. So it could be about food. It could be about dancing. All that sort of stuff. Lifestyle things.
Yeah. Okay. Email us at the usual address, or drop us a message on WhatsApp or Telegram. Now we're on Telegram too. Anyway, so tonight we're going to look at some dance exercises that will help you to develop to become a better dancer. So there's 10 exercises for Latin 6 ballroom. It's just over 30 minutes long. It's quite a good little video. I'm quite pleased with it.
Do they do the exercises along with you?
They can do. They can do if they want to, but
is this more of an instructional?
It's a bit instructional. Obviously, it will be on YouTube afterwards. As soon as it's finished tonight, I'll upload it. It's already uploaded. I'll make it live on YouTube so you can watch it back and have a little refresher on it. Yeah. So, by all means, get up and have a go as I'm talking through. I don't go into too much. I don't spend too long on each one. About 3 minutes on each exercise approximately. So, but you can definitely have a go. It's not like a class where you follow along. It's me telling you what to do and how to do it, and then perhaps you should watch it back to have a go. Perhaps that's what they should do. But yeah, that's that. So that'll be it now. I think we'll do that. We're going to go make our dinner, and we'll see you in about 30 minutes, won't we? We shall see you all shortly. If you've got any more questions, think about them whilst you're watching, and we'll catch up with you afterwards. Okay.
See you soon.
Toodle pip. That was the wrong video. I did the wrong one again. Did it again. Right, here we go. This is it. This is the right one.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another Learn in 30 video. And today we're going to be looking at dance exercises to develop and help you become a better dancer. You can spend a lot of time having lessons and practicing, learning all of the information that your teachers tell you. But sometimes you need some simple, clear exercises to help discipline your body and train your body to perform better. So I've got 10 exercises for you today, 6 ballroom and 4 Latin, to work on those specific actions in the dances to make you a better dancer. So I'm going to start with a little bit of Latin. And the first exercise I feel is the easiest one of all. And we're just going to work on the Cuban rock action that you would have in a rumba and potentially a cha-cha as well. Now, what this is going to help you to work on is the mobility of your middle section, your midriff here, and the activity of your hips. Many dancers, when they first learn to dance, have difficulty with moving their hips. Some people aren't quite as fluid as others. Now, this little exercise will help you to learn what part of your body is going to move in isolation from the upper body, because Latin's full of isolation. So one part of the body is doing something whilst the other part is standing still or staying still, or even working in a different way. So this is just the Cuban rock. This is just working on a rotary action in the hips. And also it's going to help loosen you up. So it's a great thing to start with if you're about to embark on a dance class, a practice, or whatever. So you're going to start with your feet planted on the floor, so heels down, feet flat, legs straight, and we're going to have the arms out. And you're just going to stand with your majority of weight on one foot. And then you're slowly going to just transfer weight from one foot to the other, okay? Producing a lateral movement with the hips. And then whilst doing that, of course, you're going to keep your upper body still. So you might want to feel like you want to put your hands on your shoulders to keep your shoulders still. As the right hip goes out, you might feel the right shoulder goes down. And likewise, as the left hip goes out, you want to feel that the left shoulder goes down. So there's a contraction, a squashing up of the side of the body when you do that, rather than it goes up. That's what we want to avoid. We don't want this sort of action in any Latin dance. So I'll hold the shoulders for the moment. Okay, so we're just going to go to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's just a very simplistic motion to start with. What we really want though is a rotational action through the hips. So what we're going to do is we are going to rotate around forward the right leg, and then the left hip goes forward around the left leg. So the right hip around the right, left hip around the left. All the while trying to keep your shoulders as still as possible. You're going to get some movement, it's inevitable, but the idea is that you don't want any extra activity going on upstairs. At the moment, we're going to focus purely on the downstairs movement. So I'm just rotating my hip forward around the left and the right. Just rotating, and that's all I'm doing. So I'm feeling that the middle section of my body is working independently to the upper body, and the legs stay straight as I do this. And this immediately gives you a Latin look, rather than that sort of look, which actually could be a bit of ballroom, couldn't it? So if we do this, keep the arms fixed as well, soft arms, but you're just going to rotate the hips around and forward each foot. So it's forward and around, and it comes back. And then the next side goes forward and around, and then we switch. That's what we're trying to do there. And that will loosen up the middle of your body and get your hips ready for a little bit of dancing. You should feel it through here, tops of the thighs, into the pelvic area, and also across the back here in your body if you're doing it correctly. Some of you may feel it in your legs as well, but that's a very good exercise to loosen you up and get you warmed up and ready to go. The next exercise we're going to do it from the same position. We're not going to use our legs though, or even our hips for the moment. We're just going to focus on using our arms. And we're really going to focus and concentrate on what our arms are doing, moving through space. Now, we talked about this in the armography lecture. So if you haven't seen that already, I suggest you have a little look. But this is a great exercise. Sometimes it's good to do these sort of things with music as well to give you a rhythm. I haven't got any music at the moment, but you can imagine it. Perhaps you can sing to yourself. I won't sing. You don't want to hear me sing. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to start here with my hands, my wrists crossed in front of me, and I'm going to imagine I'm forcing the air out from my hands first and then my forearms. So I feel there's an imaginary resistance, which gives me a little bit of tone through the arms, because we always want an element of tone. So the arms go out, first with the hands, then the forearms, and then the upper arm out to a full extension of the hands and arms. And then I bring them down again with the same concentration of focus on the resistance. I'm constantly thinking about an imaginary resistance, giving me some tone to those arms. So you'll feel this through your arms, you'll feel it through your back as well. You should feel it through the arms, up through the chest, in the shoulders, and in your back. If you don't feel that, then you haven't got quite enough tone. So this is something you can do repetitively over and over. You can add this onto the end of your Cuban rock exercise. So I feel a resistance through the hands and the arms as they go up, and then a stretch, and then another resistance as I come down. I feel as though the air is really thick. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And a final thought there on this arm exercise is at the very end, when the arms go out, just to be mindful of opening up the chest and lifting the head and feeling as though you are presenting yourself to all those amazed fans of yours that are watching. Sticking with the Latin and still in the same position for the moment, we're going to just look at the leg action. And this is a nice exercise that's useful for the cha-cha-cha and the rumba. And this is just purely to get used to the position of the leg behind you, underneath, and then in front of you prior to a walk or a movement forwards or backwards. So you're going to start with your weight on the right foot. The right leg is straight. The left leg is behind you. It is also straight, and it's on the tip of the toe, standing beautifully as we always do. Sternum lifted, chin up, etc. Bottom feeling like it's backwards slightly. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get used to bringing this leg through and pointing it in front. And then the process in reverse when it goes back again as well. So I bring the leg through, point it in front. Pick the foot up, take it behind. Bring the leg through, point it in front. Bring the leg up, point it behind. Now you can put your arms out at the same time as well to give you a little bit more balance. So as I come through here, it's the tip of the toe that's working. I'm pulling the knee through. That's the feeling, that I pull my knee through, the toe stays in contact with the floor, and at this point, that's when I feel like the leg straightens and the toe points out in front of me. I've got a lot of tone in that foot and that leg. This is not a relaxed foot. There is a lot of tone throughout here, in the foot especially when it gets out here. There is no weight in it, however. I can lift it. And at this point here, there's no weight in it. And at this point here, there's no weight in it. There's only pressure, which I use to help me with a bit of balance. And of course, it always looks good, because as you bring the foot through, you want to feel and hear the foot working. Now, this should not alter your posture. It's only the knee joint and the hip joint and the ankle joint that is working at this point. I'm not trying to use my body to move the leg. Let's do that on the other leg, because otherwise you'll get a bit tired. So this time I'm standing on the left leg. The right leg is behind, it's dead straight, tip of the toe is in contact with the floor. I'm going to bring it through with the knee, tip of the toe in contact with the floor, and then I point the toe in front again, no weight, and lots of tone through there to produce a nice straight leg line from the tip of the toe right through to the hip. Same thing going backwards, pick up the knee first, and then I take it behind me. When I do that, I'm mindful of leading with my laces. Obviously, if you're wearing shoes with laces, it's easy to think about that. If you're not, it's like a T-bar. Some people might just have a sandal, Latin sandal with a bare foot, but it's the top of your foot that you want to imagine you're bringing through here, like so, before it then gets out to here. And at this point here, when you're going forward or backwards, I imagine I'm showing someone behind me what size shoe I am. So if I lift the foot up significantly, if you're at a certain height, you could see what size shoe I am. So the foot is not coming through too flat. That's not what we want to do. That would be more of a ballroom action when the foot comes through relatively flat. We don't pronounce the foot like this in ballroom. However, in Latin, you will. Okay? And as I've talked about it before in the leg action video, I feel as though the standing leg is pulling backwards to give me that extra little bit of assistance to bring the free leg through. You do that enough times, you'll certainly feel it in your feet and in your legs, and your leg action will be very much better for all of the extra effort. Now, a final little Latin American exercise for you, and this one is based around cha-cha-cha. Cha-cha-cha's a fast dance, as you all know, and it's quite snappy with its actions and the way in which we use our legs and our hips. So, I've got a super duper little exercise for you to do on the spot to work your foot pressure and the snapping of those legs to create the sharp actions. So we start with our feet at 5 to 1 approximately, heels together. So the heels are together, they're connected, no place like home, all right? Little bit of a V shape there. So doesn't matter which foot you stand on. I'm going to stand on my right foot. I'm just going to relax the left leg across. So when I do this, I release the heel. The standing leg is straight. This leg is bent. And then I'm going to push into the floor and the legs switch. So now the left leg is straight, the right leg is bent. My heels and my feet are in the exact same position as when they started. And then I switch it again and again. So this is the starting of that exercise. So we're just transferring from foot to foot. When your weight is in one foot, the left leg here, I've got lots of pressure in that. I can lift it, there's lots of pressure into the floor on the inside of the ball of foot. Then I push that heel down, release the other one. So we've got 1, 2, and then cha, cha, cha. 1, 2, cha, cha, cha. 1, 2, cha, cha, cha. 1, 2, cha, cha, cha. Now you can use your arms as I'm doing there. Your arms can go in opposition. So as the left knee comes forward, the right hand comes forward. Cha, cha, cha. Or you can put your arms out to the side. If in doubt, stick them out. And you can just work the feet underneath. You'll always get a little bit of residual movement with the upper body. Don't worry about that. Good Latin dancers always wear out this part of their shoes, so the inside of their heels, because they're constantly passing their feet like so, very close together, creating this nice angle as the feet come through like so. If you don't have any wear on the inside of your shoes here, if you're a Latin dancer, then you're not using your feet correctly. Now this particular exercise will put a lot of pressure through the front of your feet, so on the inside edge of the big toe and the ball joint, and that's exactly where you need to have the pressure. Really push into the floor there. That's where you need to aim to push to get the hip and the heel to work, so you get that sharp, snappy cha-cha-cha action. Maintain the position of the feet, otherwise it'll start looking a bit like this. We don't want to get twisty. This is just purely the legs working like so. There's no turn at all. There'll be a rotation through the hips, hopefully. So as the knee bends, I feel it comes across ever so slightly to create the look that I'm after. Do that enough times, your feet will hurt, but your cha-cha-cha actions will definitely feel the benefit. Now, on to some of the ballroom exercises. Now, I've got 6 ballroom exercises for you. So the first one we're going to look at is an exercise that we call the epaulement and effacé exercise. It's based around some ballet exercises that we were taught many years ago, and we find it's an excellent activity to warm you up and also help you to develop your body posture and position and dynamic energy. So this one starts with your feet apart. Again, good thing to do with music. A waltz is a particularly good one to do it to. So you're going to stand with your weight on one foot with the other leg pointed out to the side. And you're going to take the arm out to the side as well. So if you're standing on the right, with the right arm that goes out. Standing beautifully as we always do. From here, you're going to swing down with the arm and lower through the standing leg, like so. 1, 2, 3, and then you reach up. Now, the right arm here goes up to almost touch the ceiling. You're going to look past your hand. My body, though, is still facing here. It's important to get these turns in your body. So my face is over here, my arm's in front, I'm not here, okay? So I'm looking past my arm, like so. I bring the arm down in front of my body to parallel with the floor, and then I take it out to the side, pulling across the front of the body, reaching out to the right, and you want to look out the corner of your eye towards those fingertips. Okay, and feel that real stretch from the tip of this toe to the ends of these fingers. Okay, you've got to stretch across the front of your body. Hold that position in your body, change your feet. So now I'm standing on the left foot with the right foot pointed, take the left arm out, swing down in the exact same way. So we swing down, stretch up. So now I'm reaching up to the ceiling. I'm looking this side of my arm once again. Bring the arm down in front of you, parallel to the floor, and then move it out to the side and feel this wonderful stretch through the front of your body. And you're going to again look towards your fingertips, stretching from the tips of these toes to the ends of these fingers. You've got this very strong stretch through the front of the body. I feel my shoulder blades are pulling back as well, stretching and lifting the chest stretching and lifting the chest whilst I'm doing it, and then relax. That's one. And you want to try and do this for a whole track. So a 2-minute or 2.5-minute track of waltz. It's very demanding, but amazingly worthwhile. So we'll do that again. So standing on the right foot with the right arm out, swing down, 1, 2, stretch up, bring the arm down, 4, 5, 6, out to the side, 7, 8, 9, change feet, 10, 11, 12. Then we swing down again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we relax, 10, 11, 12, ready to start that all over again. Now I already feel that through my arms and through my back and through my legs. It's a tremendous exercise, and if you focus on that at the beginning of your dance classes and practice sessions, you will get better. The next exercise is all about developing your posture and balance. This requires you to have a step. So those of you that live in a bungalow might find this a little bit tricky, but I'm sure you can find something that you can stand on. I like to do this at the very top of the stairs to give added jeopardy. So that if I get it wrong, I fall down the stairs. I'm not advocating that. That's a bad idea. Don't do that at all. Some of you may well need something to hold on to as well, just to stop you from falling over. But ultimately, this is to develop your balance and posture and position of weight in your feet. Before I do it with a step, I can show it to you without any extra items, apparatus. So you stand beautifully, of course, with the sternum lifted, the base of the spine slightly curved away. Arms down by your side for the moment. The idea is to raise up onto your toes as high as you can, keeping your nose over your toes. So to maintain a nice vertical position, and then you slowly lower your heels down to the floor so they kiss. Then you go back up onto the toes, and again down, lowering as the heels just kiss the floor. When you're doing this on a step, your heels will lower past the base of that step, which gives you extra stretch through your back of your legs and your calves, and makes it a little bit harder, and then actually makes you go higher, so it uses your feet more. So this is a starting point for you, just to keep dead straight, sternum lifted as I said. Go up on your toes, keeping your nose over your toes. Hold that position for as long as you can, and then lower down, and then go back up again as well. You don't want to collapse. You always want to lower with control. So anytime your heel goes down to the floor, there should always be an element of control. But let's try that now with a little bit of apparatus. Camera lady, if you'd be so kind as to pass me the apparatus, thank you very much. So, here's a step we prepared earlier. Up on the step, and then you want to position yourself. So imagine this is the stairs in your house or something like that. You position yourself so your heels are hanging off the edge. And as I say, if you want extra jeopardy, do it at the top step. So you go up on the toes, same as before, and then you lower your heels down, and so they go past the base of the step, and then you rise up again, keeping your nose over your toes, your sternum lifted. And if you do that enough times, you will find your perfect posture, and you'll be able to balance it. Now again, this is every time you rise up, either statically or through movement, you need to find this body position. Of course, there are developments from this, which I'll go over shortly, that you will then add to it. But to start with, this is the position you need to have. You need to be able to go up and down on your toes, dead straight, without altering posture, before you can even begin to add poise. So in ballroom, what goes down also has to come up. And rise isn't just in the feet, it's actually measured in the body as well. So when we go up on our toes, we need to be in control of what our body is doing and the position of our spine. Now I've got a nifty little exercise to help you to develop the strength of your body and to get used to the position that you'd need to be in on a rise action. This works for both men and women. And what you'll need is a corner, ideally, something like this. And you're going to connect the right-hand side of your body to this part of the wall, because that would replicate your partner. So normally you'd have your partner on the right-hand side. There are very few occasions when you have a partner on the left-hand side. So to be honest, for the sake of this exercise, we're just presuming you're always dancing with someone on your right-hand side. So what we do here, we stand beautifully, of course, as I've already described, and then we pop the left foot slightly forward. We cross the right foot behind. Okay, so the back heel's off the floor. I go up on my toes and I just fall towards the wall here. So I've got the base of my spine is going towards the wall. I'm falling, I've got my belly and a bit of my ribs against the wall as well. Now, I'm going to push the base of my spine towards the wall. As I do that, my upper body peels away. And then I can put the arm out as well, which is a great little exercise to feel the stretch away from your body as well with the arm. Now, I'm not really pressing too hard against the wall here, but I'm going to hold this position. This is exactly where you'd want to be. You'd have your feet together, of course, in a closing action. This is exactly where you want to be at the end of a rise in any dance that has rise. So the base of my spine is coming forward. It's counterbalancing with the upper body here. The head's peeling away, the base of the spine is coming in. This is perhaps more of a lady's position. A man might well be a bit more upright, but we'd still have the base of the spine coming forwards. Now you need to hold this position for as long as you possibly can. You might get a bit of cramp in the back foot perhaps, but you want to keep doing it and keep persevering and feel the stretch through the front of your body. So it's this part of my body that I feel is stretching up towards the wall. I've got pressure going towards it, but it's not a lot. It just allows me then to counterbalance what the upper body is doing. Because what you wouldn't want to do is just tilt the pelvis, because then of course you've got a broken line through your body. Likewise, if you just peeled your body away, you'd fall backwards. So by pressing the lower body against the wall here through the pelvic area, It allows me to be balanced. And this is a very good exercise to work on the stretch through the front of your body and that pull through the back to keep you in position. And as I say, hold it for as long as you can. And if you do it right, you shouldn't fall over. So now we're going to look at drive actions, and this is the movement forward, backwards or to the side that you will use in the ballroom dances. We've talked about this in leg action, in the leg action video, so if you haven't already seen that, I suggest you have a little look at that just to get an idea about what I'm talking about here. But this is a great exercise to work on your legs, quite demanding once again. So stand on any of the legs, any of those two of them, any two legs. So I'm going to drive through my left leg, the knee bends, and I drive forward and land on the right foot with the body turn as well. The back leg is straight, the front leg is bent. Then I replace back where I was, hold the body position. Now I drive again through the right leg, body turns to the left. This time the right leg is straight, the left leg is bent. Still maintaining my posture. I feel like I've got a lovely curve through the tip of the back toe, right through the front of my body, coming up through the top of my head. Now that works whether you're a man or a lady, it doesn't matter. The action is still the same. I'll do that around the other way so you can see. So you drive from the right leg here. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now through the left leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now for added stretch and extra effort, you can imagine you're a champion shot putter as you do it. So if you're standing on the right leg, you can imagine you've got your shot put. You're going to get it ready by your shoulder. You're going to drive forward from the right leg, stepping forward left. And as you do that, you're going to throw that shot put through the air like so, okay? And then you're going to catch it in the left hand and do it again on the other side. You're going to drive through that left leg, landing on the right and stretching forward as you do it. Now the arm's going to go up and away from you slightly across yourself. That gives you extra stretch through the body and through your back, because as you're dancing these drive actions, that's what you want to feel. Again, as before, you want to try and do this with music and for a whole track if you can. So that's moving forwards. We've also got something similar moving backwards. I'm going to simplify this slightly. So you're going to stand on a leg and you're going to reach back and then you're going to close. You're going to reach back and you're going to close. This is the most important thing. So many people move backwards and do that, and they move all of their weight onto the back foot far too early. So I don't want you to transfer at all in this exercise. I want you to stand on one leg. You're going to go through that leg and your other leg is going to slide behind you and it is going to be straight. Then you're going to come up, change feet, and then you're going to slide the other one back. So this will get you used to using the leg you're standing on, working on standing leg, and then reaching backwards to prepare you to move into space. And that's a very important exercise for anyone that moves backwards, to get the leg ready to receive your weight. If your body and your leg move together, it's curtains. It's not good at all. So this keeps your body weight forwards and teaches you to open the legs quite nicely so that you will eventually move quite beautifully. Again, doing it with music is a great idea. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take as long as you want on those, not too long. Try not to get stuck down here. Don't transfer any weight because then you won't be able to bring the leg back too easily. Finally, on the drive actions, we've got sideways as well. So we have a similar thing when we move to the side. We want the leg to move out. So we go through the standing leg. The foot goes out to the side. Your body stays over the standing leg for as long as possible. And then you're going to close your feet and lower. Now we do the same thing through the other leg. So we go through that leg. I feel as though when I do this exercise, like a piston, like I'm pushing something downward past my leg here, which releases the other leg out to the side. Again, this is preparing me to move. So otherwise I've got nowhere to go, you see. So if the leg and the body move together, too much weight is moving in one direction at the same time. And then that's going to cause you to be off balance. So you want to use the standing leg, get the free leg moving into position, and then drive 2, 3, lower 2, 3, drive 2, 3, and lower 2, 3, drive 2, 3, and lower 2, 3, drive 2, 3, and lower. That's a good one. Really hurts the feet, especially when you've not been used to dancing for quite some time. But like all these exercises, the more you do it, the stronger you'll become and the better your dancing will get. The 9th exercise I've got for you, and the second to last ballroom exercise, is something that you would use possibly for tango, but it's also a great exercise to make sure that your posture is in good working order. So when we dance the tango, we don't want to have body flight. We've talked about that before on some of the other videos. So the body doesn't flight in tango, and it's always contained within our steps. And a great way to ensure that your body weight has been contained is that when you take a step, you are able to go to the floor and then come back up without adjusting your position or your weight. Now that works whether you go forward or whether you go backwards. So if you haven't got to adjust your feet or your posture or your position, then it's in the right place. So this is a great exercise to work on ensuring that your body weight is staying beautifully structured and stacked above your feet and your legs. So you take a step forward, the back knee follows the front knee, and then if you can bend to the floor without any problem other than if you've got knee problems, and you can come back up, then your body weight is in the correct position. If you turn to center, you then would find hopefully your body's in between your feet. You could continue turning and then you're back the other way. You could lower to the floor again, come back up, turn the feet, turn again, lower again, come up, turn the feet, etc. That is a tough exercise, especially if you're doing it with a rhythm and a fast track, potentially a tango sort of speed, but the strength you'll develop in your legs is second to none. And also it's a great way of identifying where your problems are in posture, because if you then start leaning forward, you won't be able to do it. If you lean backwards, you won't be able to do it. So if your body's in the correct place, you can go to the floor and you can come back up, again providing of course that your knees are up to it. Unless you've got some sort of structural problem with your knees, this will strengthen them. So it's a great exercise to do if you feel that your legs aren't quite as strong as you'd like them to be. So try this one as much as you can, but try not to kill yourself too much. And finally, we've got an exercise that we call the magic move. One of our very world-renowned teachers that we went to taught us this particular action, which is a great exercise to use to develop a level of swing and sway and rotation in your bodies, which is present almost all the time, but particularly obvious, and in terms of feeling wise, I feel it's most apparent in the foxtrot. So we use the foxtrot music to exercise this, to do this exercise too. So you too could also use a foxtrot. Anyway, so what you're going to do, you're going to stand with your feet apart. You're going to have your arms up like this, like a surrender sort of position. And what you're going to do is that you're going to feel that you bend through the legs and stretch up. So what happens is the left side's forward, the left side is up, and then the opposite is true. So it's left side forward and up, left side down and back. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can keep your head still. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or you can turn your head with the motion of one of your arms, because depending on what action you will do, your head may well do that. It could stay still, it could go left, it could go right. But the body shape is the same every time. Now, it's always good to think about one side of the body. If you try and think about two things at once, it always dilutes things. So we just think about one side. Now you can think of the left side up and forward, and then the left side down and back, or you can think about the right side down and back, right side up and forward. Because of course, one side of your body is joined to the other. So whatever this does, this has to reflect the opposite, of course. So it doesn't really matter which side of the body you focus on, but as long as it all stays connected. So my arms are not moving independently. As I do this, I might feel there's an extra little bit of a stretch at the end with my hand moving towards the direction. However, I'm not doing that sort of thing. So I'm trying to move, it's the body that's doing all of the work. And as we've discussed in the armography, arms reflect what the body does. So if my body moves, my arm will reflect it. If my body rotates this way, ideally my arm will reflect that. Now, of course, when you're dancing ballroom, you generally have a fixed position with your arms. However, ultimately, they are relatively fluid. And as in the Latin, will reflect the movement of the body. So this is a great exercise to develop the rotation, a bit of sway, a bit of swing through the body, and also a certain relaxation through your arms in those movements. So again, surrender position. You can start here with your knees flexed and then you stretch up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I feel that's a lovely exercise. It's really nice, and I feel it's quite warming, especially when there's a great foxtrot tune playing. You can really get into it. Do that enough times again, and you will find your dancing improves significantly. So there we go, 10 exercises to help develop your dancing and make you a better all-round performer. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for stopping by. See you very soon.
And I'm back with you, everybody. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I hope that it was beneficial. Maybe some of you got up out of your chairs and had a go, which would be good. So maybe you've got a little bit of a sweat on now, or perhaps you're going to save it for later when I put it live on YouTube. But I assure you that if you do those exercises, if you were to do a couple of minutes a day on each of those every day, you would be better dancers. I guarantee it within a couple of weeks, a few weeks, a month at the most, for sure, absolutely 100%. So it's something to consider. And not only that, not only would you be better dancers, you'd just be better generally, because that would be quite a workout for your body, and it would be much stronger. So consider it. There we go. See, have a good think. Yes, did them all, love them all. Thank you, Ross. Good. I'm glad you did them. I'm glad you did them. Didn't fall over when you did your lunges, your posture lunges. So, is there an exercise to help you improve your top line? Yeah, there is. But it requires equipment. So that requires usage of your muscles in your back. You need to use some sort of elasticated band, which is what we used to use. So yeah, that requires muscular usage to make your shoulder line better. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a resistance band is what you need to help you with that. And I know who's writing that. That was Julian that's written that, I guess. And you know that exercise, Julian. However, having said that, the Apollomot and the Efase will help you with that as well. It's just being aware of what you're... Sometimes you need to know what muscle groups you're using to do certain things. And your shoulder blades, the back muscles, when you pull in and I've got a pencil test that you can use on your back. If you put a pencil in between your shoulder blades and if you can keep that pencil there, then that's using the correct muscles that allow you to have a good shoulder line, keep your arms in position. So, yes, sound is a little crackly, says Kelly. I don't know why that is. Kelly's downstairs. Because it's taken a little bit longer to make dinner than we anticipated. I don't know if that's any better. Is that any better, Kelly? Because I've just changed the settings slightly on this. Perhaps you can tell me. Perhaps you can tell me if that's any better. Thank you, Ray. I'm glad you enjoyed that. And it is a good way to prepare yourself to get back into dancing again, to use those exercises to really move yourself. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Margaret. Is it still crackly? It's quite frustrating. I'm going to change. Do you know what I might do? I might change the cable. Because I've got another cable for that. It could be that I've got a dodgy cable. Although I think, has it been crackly before, everybody? Have you heard it been crackly? Has it been crackly in the past, on previous weeks? Could be that I've just got a rubbish cable plugged in. Anyone want to comment and tell me if it's been crackly before? Yes, it has been crackly before. Okay. Right. 1 second, ladies and gents. Hang on. There we go. I'm talking away and you didn't. I had it on mute. So is that any better? I'll keep talking just to see. Lost sound. Yeah, no, you say lost sound. Yeah, because I pressed the mute button carelessly. It should be working now, though. No, not better. That's peculiar, isn't it? I wonder why that is. I don't know why it's crackly tonight. I can't answer. I don't know, because this is the normal microphone we use. I'm not using it any differently. I've just plugged in a different cable. I'm very sorry for the crackles. Anyway. Yeah. As long as you can still hear me, but I'm sorry it's crackly. I don't know why it's crackly. I'm trying to think if I've got anything else I can use to test it. Anyway. It was fine before I came back. No, it was fine before I came back because it wasn't using a microphone, Margaret. It was using the pre-recorded video. So that was that video had the sound all incorporated. So you're hearing a crackle from the live feed now, which is this microphone, which is not a cheap microphone. So I don't know why. There was a scream downstairs. I don't know why there was a scream downstairs. We had a couple of questions come in. So yeah, microphone issue, Sarah. I think I'll have to look into that to see what's happened. Julian wants to know why ladies wear such heavy makeup in competitions. If you think about it, when you go to the theatre and if you see a performance, so you're seeing it from sat down in the auditorium, and they've got strong lights on the performers in whatever it is. They have very strong lights on their faces. So what happens if you put? Do you know? I can show you now. Actually, I can show you exactly what I'm talking about, because if I increase the brightness of the light that I've got here in front of me, what happens is my features change, don't they? So you can't see my features. It all kind of whitewashes my face out. However, now see this light I've got here it's not like a stage light. It's bright, but it's not a stage light. So if you think about it, when you're performing in an auditorium or on a dance floor, the lights are very bright. So you need to ensure that your features are still seen. So that's why the makeup is heavy. It's just purely for the theatre of it all, to ensure that your features remain. So that's why ladies wear heavy makeup, and often men do the same, which is slightly worrying. Do you ever see any additional dancers adding to the 10 standard in terms of competition, and if so, what? No, I do not. So that answers your question very quickly and very succinctly. no, there will be no more dancers added to the 10 that we currently have in the ballroom and Latin forms. They won't be adding anything else. Those competitions, if they wanted to add dances, they would be separate competitions. So what they do at the moment, they have American Smooth. It's a separate genre, and Latin American Rhythm, separate genre. It will never be added to the 10 standard ballroom and Latin dances. So no, that won't happen. Glad you had a go, Lou. Thank you very much. Glad you had a little go. I'm so glad that the crackles have not ruined your experience. Better later than never. I am annoyed though, because I definitely want to look into that. I don't like it when there's crackles. So yeah, I'm very frustrated about that. Let's look into it. I'll test the microphone. So anyway, I'm glad it's working. So if you've got any more questions, I'm happy to answer a few. My dinner's still being made, so it's okay. It's not finished yet, so I can waffle away till my dinner's made. It's okay. And nothing too extravagant this evening. It's broccoli and mash with some vegetarian sausages. That's it. So not particularly exciting. Last night's dinner was quite nice. I'll probably rustle something fancy up tomorrow as well. And I really must get the oven clean so that I can do some sort of Saturday night dinners video again, because at the moment when you've got a grubby oven, you don't want to be doing a video, do you? I'm sure most of you've got or ovens that get a bit grubby from time to time. Oh great, that's nice to know. Thanks Plymouth Beauties. I sound like a Dalek. That's great, thank you. It's very infuriating. I don't know if it's because I changed some settings, but I can't imagine it is. It's the wind. Well, yeah, it could be the wind, couldn't it, Lou? Yeah. Not that I've got wind of my own, but I don't think it's that wind. I mean, it might be the wind outside. So, if anyone's got any more questions, I'd be very happy to answer some. I'm sure you do, Blenworth Beauties. Prefer that. I'm sure you do. Yes. But just think of all that, the additional fat you get from those sausages. Yes. And you never can guarantee what's in a sausage. So, Sarah Ball, if you find that if you're looking in a ballroom sense, the technique book never says where the head should be. It doesn't talk about the head position at all. Only when you're talking about the connection when you first get together with the man, and it says about the head being to the left. At no point does it talk about the head looking to the right or turning to the right or anything like that. So in a ballroom sense, you are never ever wrong if your head is to the left. Never. You are not necessarily quite right, but you can never be wrong. So if you keep your head to the left, you'll always be most of the time correct. I guess the problem occurs, of course, when you're doing Latin. And generally speaking, in a Latin sense, as long as you keep your head facing front, let's say, you can really get away with anything. So if you keep the more still you keep your head, the better. It's when you have lots of activity through your head that causes you problems. So that's something to consider. So the less activity with the head, the better. But of course, ultimately, when you really develop your dancing, your head weight, the weight of your head, will play an important role in your dancing, because it's very heavy, so it's very useful to use it to your advantage. But the more still you keep it to start with, the better. I think I alluded to this in the armography lecture last week, is that you need to find a position that you're strong in. You need to find a strong and consistent position before you then can move around within that. Because it's no good trying to move around all over the place. You will never know where you should be. Yeah. So it was always better to be quite fixed to start with, fixed in a loose sense, not too rigid. But yeah. Well, thank you very much, Angela. Great lighting. I'm glad you like it. I'm sorry that no one else likes the sound though. The sound is an issue this evening. The lighting might be good, but the sound might be dodgy. And where have you been? This is the first time you've tuned in ages, and I'm very disappointed. I'd like to know if you've got a note to tell me where you've been absent from all of our lectures and online classes. I'm not going to say exterminate. I'm not saying it. So there's a question come in from Julian House. What is musicality in ballroom dancing? I actually want to have dinner tonight, and tomorrow, and the night after, and next week. That is an enormous question. What is musicality in ballroom dancing? Essentially, it's the expression of what you're listening to through your body. Expressing what you're listening to through your body. That's essentially what musicality is. So people can be on time, so you can dance on time, but you're not necessarily expressing what the music is doing or saying to you. So musicality in ballroom dancing is when you're expressing the music through your body. Okay? That's it in a nutshell. But I mean, it's a massive topic to teach you how to do it. And I'm not entirely sure if you can teach it, to be honest. I think you can understand, you can begin to understand what it is, but then it's up to you to find it. I don't think I can teach it. So some people have got it naturally, some people need to learn it themselves, but you have to understand musicality in ballroom dancing, you have to understand music and movement, and then how to express that through your body. It's a big topic. Yeah, it's not an easy thing. It's not like learning a feather step, which is right foot forward, left foot forward, preparing to step outside partner, right foot forward, outside partner, etc., etc. It's not as simplistic as that. It's not as technical as that. It's much more esoteric, really. Yeah. Well, there you go, Sigrid. Sigrid's got the answer for you, Ju. Probably something you feel from the music. There you go. Sigrid's got it. Sigrid's got it. Yeah. And Diane, why doesn't you just ask her himself? It's a different Angela that was commenting anyway. Hello. Apparently I sound like a Dalek.
Yeah, it's really crackly.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, even when you change the chord, it's still crackly. So
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
I don't understand
We
it
need to
either.
investigate.
We do. Yeah, I'm very annoyed about it.
Oh.
Very annoyed. Yeah, anyway, we'll talk about that quite in detail. Look at that ridiculous question. What is musicality in ballroom dancing? I mean, he asks these such ridiculous... It's deep. I don't know if you heard, but I said
did
that...
hear.
You did hear? Okay. So that's a very simplistic answer, really. But to do it, it'll be tough. Is it correct in competition facial expressions can lose you marks? Well,
Depends on
it does depend, Ray. When we dance, when you are judged in a competition, you are judged on how you look. And of course, that's subjective. So what Kelly might like, I might not. And what I like, she might not. So she might find someone's face quite attractive. I might not. Ultimately, it's whatever looks most beautiful, and I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
But if it looks relatively natural and clean and appealing to the eye, it'll be okay. Of course, if people start pulling obtuse facial expressions, then it becomes difficult to judge it because it distracts you from the dancing itself. So, yeah, I mean, people express themselves in all sorts of different ways, don't they?
I find that when people first start competing, and if they're a very enthusiastic dancer, which we've come across many,
Yes.
they tend to overdo it.
Yes.
So they kind of like force it a little bit. And I think over time, what tends to happen is dancers become more comfortable with themselves and then relax into it, and then they start to express themselves more naturally. So the facial expressions, like smiles and, well, the interaction with their partner tend to sort of
Become more natural.
it will just become more natural, yeah, and perhaps even more subtle.
Yeah.
But of course, compared to normal everyday life, I think when you dance, your face is automatically more animated, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're putting on a performance, so it's like when you smile, you can't just like smile, like you would sort of just in front of someone. You've got to really smile. Your eyes have got to open. Everything's got to be bigger because, like James said, I heard you talk about the makeup thing.
Yeah,
Your face gets drowned out, and you can't see your face. And people don't connect with the emotion, perhaps, that you're trying to portray. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Some people just go way over the top. It starts to become a little bit like, oh, you know. I've described in the past about some dancing, and not just the facial expressions, but the energy that people are putting out is that when I'm watching, I feel like I'm going to be attacked. You know, and that's not how I want to feel when I watch people dance. So, yeah, I just think depending on what stage the dancer is at depends on how good they are at doing that. Of course, some people are very good at just expressing themselves, and other people find that really difficult. You know, just generally. So that also has an effect on how they dance it. But no, they don't necessarily lose marks unless it's really, really OTT. I would say, would you?
Yeah. Yeah, I do find it very difficult though. I think I've alluded to it in other videos where, especially from my perspective, when you're judged, I'm judging extremities, so your hands, your face, your feet. And if the face looks odd and they're pulling funny faces, it's very difficult to judge it.
See, I was always criticised for not being more facially expressive because I'm an introverted character. So where I'm introverted, I find it very difficult to be, you know, overly like that. So part of me had to really, really fake a lot of it just to get, you know, something across. So it does depend on your personality as well. You know, I'm quite quiet, and I'm not I don't necessarily dance to stand out. So that's difficult when you're trying to compete. It all is different for everyone.
It is. It is. Yeah. I don't think that sound's not any better, is it? Because I just looked up some solutions and I unplugged the other thing. So, got to smile all the time except for tango. Often teeth chatter. Do your teeth chatter when you're a bit nervous? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember my very first competition. I told you this, haven't I?
Yeah.
I remember my hand going like that, and we got off the floor, and my partner said, "I could feel your hand shaking."
Yeah.
I was 9 or 10, I think. I can't remember.
I don't think you always need to smile, actually, Sarah. I don't think it's imperative that you're always smiling. You need to express what you're doing.
Well,
but it doesn't.
Yeah,
smiling isn't always. You haven't always got to do that. I mean, I know that some teachers always say, "Oh, smile, smile, smile," but a forced smile looks just as awkward as someone who's gurning.
ultimately comes from the music, you know. So some music is sad sounding, isn't it? So particularly for waltz, that sort of thing. Sometimes for foxtrot even. But you know, some dancers do have different emotions attached to them. So I do tend to think as waltz is either sad or romantic. So you might smile in a waltz, but also you might be sad. Tango, of course, is more passionate, and I think that gets misconstrued as anger. You might be a little bit angry, I suppose.
Maybe.
You might have had a row.
Do you know what I am?
We often have a row.
No, we
Hungry.
don't. No, we don't. I'm
You're
hangry.
You're hangry, yeah. Foxtrot's a bit more light-hearted. Quick step's obviously fun, so you definitely smile loads in quick step. Yeah. So yeah, think about the mood of each dance. It's not all about smiles. It really depends on the music.
Yeah, and actually, Margaret, you make a good point there. We're taught to stretch and reach out to extremities, so if it feels alien to start with, it's going to look a bit unnatural. So your body's going to look unnatural, feel unnatural, so you're going to express that in your face. Yeah, so it's tricky.
It is tricky.
It is tricky, so yeah, you've always got to bear this in mind.
Dancing really involves every single part of the body.
As I said, on Wednesday, I should be on prescription.
Even your eyelids.
I should be on prescription. I talked about focus as well.
Yeah.
Focus. You've got to have your eyes open,
Really,
you've got to
really
focus.
important, yeah.
And I think I went up close to the camera as well and showed them my raised eyebrow.
It bothers me that you can do that so well, because I can't.
Yeah, well, what can I say? What can I say? But I'm talented. I'm talented.
He's typing and talking to someone, but not actually saying anything, so he gets to watch you type. Marvellous.
You keep talking, I'm typing.
What? I don't know what to talk about now.
Waffle.
So anyway, dinner's ready. Can you stop? You can do that later, surely. This
not true. I listen all the time.
You
I
have
just choose not to respond. I look like Patrick Moore, did I?
Who's Patrick Moore?
Oh, bless. Patrick Moore was a very good xylophone player.
Xylophone.
Yeah, very good xylophone player. Yeah. He's also an astronomer, and he had the
This is
Sky at Night. He
multi-talented.
used to have a channel called a TV show called The Sky at Night.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. He was a very entertaining guy.
Okay.
Yeah. You should like that. Yes. You talk like that. I like that all the time. Yes. That's a very good impression, I'd like to think.
I'm gonna look it up.
Look it up. We'll do it now. Actually, while you're here, we'll look it up.
Patrick Moore.
Yes. So there's Patrick Moore. There's a picture of him.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if we look at him in terms of videos,
Is he still alive?
no, he's not. He's sadly passed away. This is such
2012,
great
I see.
television for you,
Like
everyone. Isn't it?
2012.
This is such great
I'm sure
television.
they're absolutely
They're
enthralled.
enthralled. They are absolutely enthralled.
Really, you should have shown me this later.
I could have done, but it's funnier. It's funnier to do it now. Here we go. Yeah, it's Patrick Moore. There's no volume
Oh, he's
though.
got one of those little glass.
He's got a monocle.
Monocle.
Amateurs always played a major part, and they still do. Lots of amateurs do things specialized they want to do, have some time to do, or can't do.
He's a funny guy.
I'm a
There you go.
sir.
I know, funny guy. Funny guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah.
Anyway, so I think it's time now for me to go and have some dinner. We've been on for an hour and a half tonight, actually.
Ooh.
Hour and 39 minutes this live stream's been running for. Or so.
Marvellous.
So unless there's any pressing questions before we finish, I'm going to go and have my dinner. And can anyone tell me if the sound is better? I'm sure someone will respond quickly and tell me.
Buddy's better. He's asleep.
Look at him. Look at the state of it.
It's ridiculous.
He is ridiculous. Yeah. Yes. No one's saying, tell me if the sound's better. Please, someone tell me if the sound is better.
I'm really not sure about keeping him.
Kelly wants to get rid of him still. Oh, no, not better. Okay, fine. That didn't work than what I tried. Okay.
It's annoying, isn't it?
Oops. Let's turn that down. It is annoying.
We'll have to look into
I
that.
have to look into it. I might have to,
and
yeah.
see what the problem is. We don't know. So they're testing it properly.
Has it been like this before?
Yes, they said that it was a little bit like this last week.
Right, okay.
I saw a message.
Okay.
Obviously, I noticed it when I was downstairs because I was watching
Yeah.
their little thing.
Yeah. I noticed it as well actually when we went downstairs on the tablet.
Mhm.
Because I had the tablet with me as we went
Yeah.
downstairs and I noticed it too, so I don't understand.
We'll look into it. Hopefully, we can fix it.
I'll do what I can. Yeah. It could be this.
Yeah, it shouldn't be though.
No, it
Nice
shouldn't
bit
be.
of kit, isn't it?
It is a nice bit of kit.
Nice bit of kit.
We invested in that early on in the lockdown. Okay.
Fine last week for Sarah.
Okay. Well, let's we're gonna make like a tree and
Leave.
get out of here.
My dad used to say that all the time. Make like a tree and leave.
Yeah, no, make a tree and get out of here. That's from Back to the Future.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, Teresa says it's got worse.
Oh no.
Oh, dear. Anyway, well, I'm going then. I'm going before it gets even
Because of the
worse.
rain. It's the rain.
Can't be the rain.
I don't think it's raining yet
No.
at the moment.
No, it's not raining.
It has
yet.
been on and off.
Yeah, it could be my wind. Yeah.
Got to bring the level down, haven't you?
Yeah.
Always.
Okay. I do apologise for the crackles tonight. At least we didn't have any snap and pops.
What
Just
you
the
just
crackles.
said about
Well,
pops.
yeah. I'll fix it for next week. Don't worry. I'll fix it. And so hopefully you've enjoyed this evening. Hopefully that video was beneficial. It'll be live on YouTube in a matter of moments. So if you want to relive it, you can do,
Relive.
of course. Yes. And in the meantime, we will we'll love you and leave you. We'll see you on Wednesday. I'll see you on Wednesday for another Zoom class, bit of cha-cha, and then something else. I don't know what it's going to be just yet. I've got to think up something. So don't forget Sarah and Jessica on Sunday night, 6:30. Tuesday for stretch.
And
On Wednesday, Thursday
Thursday,
Latin Fusion.
Latin Fusion.
Yeah, I mean it's all there.
it's all there.
All going to be happening, all online for the next foreseeable month at least. Okay, so thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you very much for your support. We really do appreciate it. I'm going to go and have a sausage,
A vegan one.
a vegan sausage. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you later.